my Grassroots Yoga channel. This morning I'm going to be doing some yoga flow and for strength and flexibility. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to come to the mat. And I'm just going to get started here in seated, easy seated meditation. I'm going to go ahead and just get our vibrations a little bit higher and tiny little vibration elevation with our sound bowls this morning. Okay, just a little bit of elevation. All right, so this morning, we're just going to go ahead and get started now here with some deep breathing and get grounded onto our mat. So take a deep breath in. Open your mouth and just sigh it all out. We're going to take a deep breath in and bring our hands high over our head. Exhale, open up, bring your hands down to the mat. Inhale, bring your hands high. And exhale, hands come down to the mat. Take another inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a nice deep breath in here. And exhale. On our next exhale, we're going to make the sound of Om. So take an inhale here. And as we exhale, Om. All right, take an inhale here, bring your hands high. And on your exhale, we're going to bring our left hand down to the mat. On our inhale, we're going to reach up nice and high. Reach up with that right arm. Stretch that side. We're really getting warmed up here. Take a few breaths here. If you want more stretch and if you are flexible enough, you can bring your elbow and your forearm down to the mat. Really stretch. Exhale, come on back up. Inhale, left arm high. And as you exhale, just go ahead and fold over. You can bring your right arm out long on the mat, or if you want more flexibility, a little bit deeper stretch, and you're able to bring your forearm and your elbow to the mat. Just really open up that left side. Take some deep breaths here. Exhale, bring that hand back down to the mat. All right, we're going to go ahead and come to tabletop. So we're going to come to our hands and our knees. And we're going to start with some cat-cows here. So on our inhale, we're coming into cow. Drop your belly, lift your chin. Push the ground away. Shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Really pull your belly up and in and really push the ground away. Tuck your chin in, your pelvis. pelvis in, round that spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, we're going to come to tabletop here, neutral spine. And on an exhale, we're going to push back to our first downward facing dog. So your feet are hip width distance. Your heels do not have to come to the mat right away. You can walk your dog out with one heel alternating on the mat and then the other. Your hands are shoulder width distance. Your palms are firmly pressing evenly into the mat. Maybe press your index fingers into the mat. And then roll your shoulders away from your ears and pull your belly up and in. Maybe bend your knees and really lift your hips high. We really want to get a nice lengthening in the spine here. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here in down dog. Maybe gaze between the back of your feet, in the middle of your feet, and the back of the mat. Find a spot that you can focus on. That's called your drishti. We have the geese are visiting this morning for our yoga class. On an inhale, we're going to come high on our toes. Exhale, soften your knees. And we're going to step to the top of the mat. We're going to go ahead and heel toe our feet hip width distance for ragdoll pose. Just grab opposite hands to opposite elbows. And we're just going to gaze to the back of the mat. And we're just going to dangle here. You can rock your torso up and down, or your hips side to side, or your torso side to side. We're just going to open up here and let your head and your neck just dangle. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. And as you breathe in through your nose. Feel the breath in the back of your throat. Then exhale. Keep your mouth closed and exhale through your nose. Really breathe out of the back of your throat. Feel that breath coming out of you, out of the back of your throat, your lungs. Take another inhale. And exhale. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring your hands to the mat. Heel toe your feet together. On an inhale, we're going to come to a halfway lift. So if you can bring your hands to your shins and pull your belly up and in, and draw your tail and your crown away from each other, really lengthen your spine. Or you can bring your fingertips to the mat if you want. The important thing is lengthening in the spine. And as you exhale, we're going to come into a forward fold. On an inhale, push through your heels. We're going to come up nice and even, one vertebrae at a time. Hands high in prayer over your head. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to come into mountain pose here. So ground down into the 4 corners of your feet and roll your shoulders down your back, belly up and in. Tilt your pelvis forward. We're going to take a few breaths here in mountain pose. We're just getting grounded. Nice and tall like a mountain. While we're in mountain pose, see if you can find an intention for your practice today. And speaking to the breaths that we'll be taking, we'll be doing Ujjayi breathing. So you keep your mouth closed and you breathe in and out through your nose. And as you breathe in, you can feel that breath in the back of your throat. And it makes the sound of maybe an ocean wave or the sound of a conch shell you hold it to your ears. So you're going to hear and feel the breath in the back of your throat as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Ujjayi ocean breath keeps your power inside of you as you practice your yoga. Also, if you can take a moment and grab a block and maybe a strap before we begin. On your next inhale, hands high over your head. Look at your thumbs. Feel that nice stretch in your lower back, your lower spine. Look at those thumbs. Exhale. We're going to come into a forward fold. Hang nice and loose here. Let your head dangle. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or fingertips to the mat. Exhale, we're going to step back to a high plank here. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to come to the mat. So just lower nice and easy on the count of 3, 2, 1. We're coming down to the mat. On an inhale, we're going to push into our hands and push into the tops of our feet as we lift up to low cobra. Your elbows are at a 90-degree angle and your legs actually come up off the mat as you press your feet into the mat. Roll your shoulders down your back. This is a really nice little back bend. On an exhale, we're going to come into tabletop. And we're going to push back to downward dog. 3 Ujjayi breaths here as you have your focal point in between your feet on the back of the mat. Inhale. And exhale. Shoulders away from your ears. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale high on your toes. Exhale, soften your knees. And we're going to come to the top of the mat. On an inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or fingertips to the mat. Just make your spine nice and long here. Exhale, forward fold. On an inhale, we're going to come up to chair pose. So your knees are at a 90-degree angle over your ankles, and your belly is up and in, your navel is up and in, your biceps at your ears, palms facing each other. Maybe imagine your lower back is pressing into a wall. Roll your shoulders down your back. We're going to take 3 Ujjayi breaths here. Find your drishti in front of you, about 4 feet maybe on the ground. Maybe see if you can sit a little bit deeper here. And as you exhale, we're going to come into a forward fold. Let yourself dangle. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we're going to bring our hands down to the mat, and we're going to come into a high plank. If you want to challenge yourself, we're going to come into chaturanga or low plank, or you can meet me in down dog. So chaturanga, inhale, upward dog. Press the feet into the mat, lift up out of your lower back. Exhale, roll over your feet for downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. inhale this time, we're going to bring our right leg high for three-legged dog on the right. And as you exhale, with control, we're going to slowly step through and bring our right foot up to the top of the mat. On an inhale, we're going to align our heels and we're coming up to warrior one. Exhale. Your biceps are at your ears. Your belly is up and in. Shoulders down your back. And square your hips to the front of the mat. That front knee is at a 90-degree angle. Two more breaths here. Really lengthen out of your sides. And exhale, we're going to open up here to warrior two or Virabhadrasana 2. This pose calls in all the strength of a warrior. You want to find your drishti over your middle finger. And make sure that front knee is at a 90-degree angle. Protect that knee. Really stretch your arms out nice and long. You're going to take 3 deep breaths here. That back foot is at a 60-degree angle and the knife edge is pressing into the back of the mat. That back leg is as strong as steel. Your hips are in alignment over your torso, under your torso here. See if you can sink a little bit deeper. One more Ujjayi breath. As you inhale here, we're going to flip our palm. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our right arm to the sky and our left arm down our thigh for reverse warrior. I'm going to take 3 breaths here. Sometimes, if it feels more supported, you can bring your hand behind your back, your lower back, for support. See if you can sink a little bit deeper with that front thigh. Exhale here, we're going to straighten our front knee. And we're going to go ahead and hinge at our hips. We're coming into triangle. So bring that front palm on top of your front shin and the left arm to the sky. We're really opening up in triangle here. It's all about opening up spaces. Take 3 breaths here in triangle. Go ahead and bend that front knee, and we're going to bring our right palm to the mat. We're going to step back to side plank here. So we're going to, both of our feet are stacked on top of each other, and you're really lifting up out of your side here. We're going to take about 5 breaths here in side plank. Make sure you find your drishti so you have your balance and stability. If you want, you can raise that top leg. And bring that down. We're going to come into high plank here. And go ahead and come into low plank. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, we're coming into downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. If you need to take a break, you can always come into child's pose and take a few breaths in child's pose, or you can take your breaths in down dog. If you're in child's pose, go ahead and come back into down dog. Take 1 more inhale. And exhale. Inhale here, we're going to bring our left leg high Three-legged dog on the left, pressing evenly into both palms. As you exhale with control, we're going to step up with that left foot. And on our inhale, come on into warrior one. We're going to take 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, we're going to open up here to warrior two. So stretch those arms nice and long. Your feet are stretching the mat in opposite direction. And find your drishti over that middle finger. 3 breaths here. Maybe sink a little deeper on your last breath. On your inhale, flip your palm. Exhale, reverse warrior. We're going to take 3 nice deep Ujjayi breaths here. So breathe in. And exhale. Remember, you can bring that hand behind your back if it feels good. You can inhale. And exhale. One more Ujjayi breath. And now you exhale here. We're going to straighten that front knee. And we're going to come into triangle here on the left. Bring that right arm nice and long and open up that right side. It's as if your lungs are stacked upon each other, on top of each other, or as if you're in between 2 panes of glass. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. On your exhale, we're going to come down to the mat for tabletop. And we're going to cross our ankles behind us and come to a seat. Bring your legs out long. And now we're going to meet on our backs. We're going to do a little bit of flexibility. So come to lie on your back and bring your knees into your chest. Wow, that was a good little workout there, huh? Good strength workout. And bring the left foot to the mat. We're going to take our strap and we're going to bring it around the arch of our right foot and lift that right leg high. You can leave your left knee bent, or if you want to bring it out long, if that feels comfortable and safe, you can lengthen that leg onto the mat. I'm going to take a few deep breaths here. Make sure, it's as if your both of your heels are just pointing towards like a vector, a line just going straight. Your heels are pointing out, pointing up. You can walk your hands up your straps if you can bring your leg a little bit closer. ahead and we're just going to let our right leg just gently fall out to the right side, keeping your hands on that strap. And you're going to feel that stretch in your inner groin here. Really, really press that heel out, push it out. Make sure that both of your hips are firmly planted on the ground. You don't want your left hip coming up and falling over to the side. On your exhale, go ahead and bring that foot back to neutral. And we're going to point our toes towards our left shoulder. And we're just going to gently bring that foot over towards the left until you feel the stretch in your right outer leg. So you might feel it closer to your foot or your ankle, in your calf area, in your outer calf, or you might feel it up higher in your thigh, in your outer right thigh, in your hip. We're stretching the IT band here. You're going to feel it where you need it the most. Bring that foot back. We're going to unhook that strap. And we're going to bend our knee, our left knee, and cross our right foot over our left knee. We're going to do figure 4 here. If you can bring your hands behind your left thigh or on top of your left knee here, and just draw that leg back, draw your leg back until you can feel that stretch in your right outer hip. Make sure that your lower back is still on the floor and your shoulders are on the floor. Make sure that foot is flexed, your right foot is flexed to protect the knee. Maybe draw it in a little bit deeper for the last 2 breaths. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to cross that right knee on top of the left. And you can either grab your ankles, your shins, or maybe your heels. And we're just going to bring our heels in as close as we can until you feel this in your right outer hip. Roll side to side if that feels good. It's okay now if that lower back comes up off the ground. We're going to go ahead and bring that left foot back down to the ground. And we're going to bring our arms out like wings. And just go ahead and scooch your hips over to the right of the mat. And then we're going to let our knees are still crossed, and we're going to let our knees just gently fall to the left for twisted roots supine spinal twist. You can bring your left hand on top of your right outer knee, or if it feels comfortable, you can just let both arms come out like wings. See if you can get that right shoulder nice and close to the ground here. And take a deep breath in. Feel that breath Go up and down the spine as you breathe in and out. And deep breath out. Take about 4 more breaths here. Exhale, we're going to come on back up to the mat here, and we're going to scooch our hips to the middle of the mat again. Go ahead and give yourself a hug. We're going to do that on the other side. Maybe do some knee circles here, if that feels good. If you did one way, go ahead and do it the other way a couple times. And then we're going to do that on the other side. So bring your right foot to the mat and bring that strap over the arch of your left foot, and just bring that heel so it's pushing a line straight out, like a vector going straight out. If you want to go ahead and bring that right leg long, you don't have to, but you can if you want. Maybe walk your hands up the strap, feel that stretch in your left hamstring, your calf area. You'll feel it maybe in your heel. Now we're just going to let that leg just drape over to the left side. Make sure you got a good hold onto the strap. And make sure your hips stay on the ground. Just bring that out as far as you want, as far as feels safe and good to you. Feel that stretch in your inner groin here. You might even feel it in your right hip flexor, the front of your right thigh. On an exhale, we're going to bring that foot back up to neutral and point those toes to the right shoulder and just bring that foot over until you can feel the stretch in your outer calf or your outer hip. That foot back up to neutral. We're going to remove the strap. We're going to cross that left foot over the right knee. We're just going to draw that knee in towards our body. Flex that left foot. You'll feel this in your left outer hip. draw that knee in a little bit closer. On your exhale, bring that right foot back to the mat, and we're going to scooch our hips over to the left and bring our knees back together here. So we can do twisted roots here on the left side, arms out like wings. Bring that left shoulder as close to the ground as possible. You can gaze up, you can gaze over your shoulder, or you can gaze in the directions of your knees, whatever feels best for your body. Feel that, oh, that feels so good in your lower back. On your exhale, we're going to go ahead and bring our feet back to neutral, uncross your knees, and give yourself a nice hug here. On an exhale, we're going to bring our feet up high. We're just going to do a little bit of ab work here. So inhale, stretch those feet. Exhale, come to 60 degrees down with your legs. Take an inhale. And exhale, we're going to come to 30 degrees, and we're going to peek at our toes for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. We're going to bring those knees up nice and high, those legs up high. Exhale to 60. Take an inhale. Exhale to 30. And we're just going to do 10 swim kicks for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, legs high. Exhale, give yourself a nice hug here. And we're going to do some hip circles. So we're going to bring our knees wide as we inhale. And as you exhale, bring your knees back together and back to your chest. Take an inhale, knees wide. Exhale to chest. One more inhale, knees wide. And exhale, knees come to your chest. We're going to bring our feet up high one more time, and we're just going to relax here for about 10 deep breaths in waterfall. This is a nice pose you can do with your legs up the wall. Your exhale here, we're going to bring our knees back into our chest and just give yourself a nice hug. Show yourself lots of love. On exhale, bring your legs out long on the mat for Shavasana. Your legs fall open, your feet fall open a little bit more than hip width distance, and your hands are at your side with palms facing up, about a foot away from your torso. Maybe walk your hips down out of the hip sockets, your shoulders down away from your ears. We're going to take a nice deep breath in here. Open your mouth and just sigh it all up. Take another breath in here. Open your mouth and just feel all the tension drain out of your body. down into the ground and just give it all up. Let it all go. Shavasana. Relax your forehead. Relax the muscles around your eyes. Let your tongue just fall away from the roof of your mouth. Relax your jaw. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring your feet to the mat. Bring your one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And just pause. When you're ready, you can come to your left side or your right side. And we're going to just take another moment here and use our bicep as a pillow. On an inhale, come on up to seated meditation. And just exhale, roll your shoulders down your back. Inhale here, we're going to bring our hands high over our head. To seal the practice, just bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I wish you all love and peace, health, happiness, and prosperity. Take one more breath in here, and I'm going to finish it out with an Om. So take a breath in. Namaste. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and if you have anything, any kind of yoga you prefer, or if you have any comments, please feel free to drop a comment down below. And I'll see you again on the mat next time. Hi everybody. Hi. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy your practice. Peace. Namaste.